The Last Clue is a production of Smith Media Team, LLC. So where should we go today for the last clue?
Oh, can we head south out of Oklahoma for a little bit?
We're going to have to. Let's go to Tarrant County, Texas, and one of the largest cities in the United States
We going to the
and
Metroplex?
ever growing. There is a distinct discord between the residents of Dallas and where we're heading today, and that is Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay.
There are Fort Worth people and there are Dallas people. You are not from Dallas, Fort Worth, or Fort Worth, Dallas. You are one or the other.
I am neither. I guess that makes sense why I call it DFW.
You can call it DFW, but if you claim residence,
I do not.
you are either from Dallas or you are from Fort Worth. They are two distinctly different cities.
Well, I already struggle answering the question where I'm from, so there's that.
Home of the Trinity River, also home to the Van Cliburn International Piano Competition. Very prestigious. The Kimball Art Museum, the Amon Carter Museum of American Art. Fort Worth is a very cultural town. And then when you're ready to let your hair down, tear loose a bit, you head down to the historic Fort Worth Stockyards,
Mm-hmm.
to the world's largest honky tonk, Billy Bob's, Texas.
Yep, I've heard about that a few times.
So have I. If you want a discount, tell everybody you know Marty. He'll let you in. So in Fort Worth, we have an unsolved murder.
Is this a fairly new one?
So this happened about a week ago. And we have tried to determine where exactly this apartment complex is with little or no luck. So we're hoping that some of our Fort Worth residents will chime in. Our audience has been great about responding and helping with information. We are about 90% sure we know where this is, but the news coverage has been lackluster at best.
Yeah, and I feel like I know why that is. We've actually had this discussion off mic. Um, this case is kind of being buried because of the national coverage that we're getting about the poor kid that was stabbed at the track meet in the same area,
No, tra-
Dallas Fort Worth.
tragic story.
Yes.
So about a week ago, and now the Fort Worth Police Department is asking for the public's help. So this is where you can put your true crime sleuth on and help Fort Worth Police with the last clue. We have an apparent robbery at an apartment complex in the Hewlin area. Hewlin is a very popular area. It's near where Texas Christian University is, right off of the main interstate that goes through Fort Worth, I-30.
Is that also known as Chisholm Trail?
Yes,
Okay.
that is that area. But on the 27th of March, which was a Thursday, Fort Worth police responded to a call at about 10 till 9 p.m. in the 6,000 block of Portico Drive, which is again right in that Hewlin area. And they found a young man, Maddox Garza, who was a Fort Worth resident, and he was shot in his car.
So sad.
He was taken to the hospital and later pronounced dead. The reports coming out of Cowtown are that this was a robbery attempt. Now, that may be so, but if you're in an apartment complex and you hear a gunshot in this day and age where everybody's got a mini computer in their pocket, somebody went outside, somebody saw something, somebody saw somebody fleeing, but yet here we are a week later and there's been no announcement of a person of interest. There's been no announcement of a bolo, an arrest, anything.
And I'm going to get on a soapbox here for a second. And you're talking about everybody having the mini computer in their pocket. And it's true. Everybody's got a phone. We've got a 2-year-old granddaughter. You know what she has? She's got a phone. So in any case, people are grabbing their phones, and you know what they're doing? They're recording. So somebody recorded shots fired, somebody recorded some sort of incident in the parking lot, somebody recorded the fleeing, somebody recorded something that happened. You know what they didn't do, likely? They didn't call 911. And that's what frustrates me. Everybody's so quick to make sure they can get the video out so they can go viral, but they're not going to help the helpless soul.
So this
stepping off my soapbox.
This has been classified by the Tarrant County Medical Examiner's Office as a homicide. So now we begin the search for information for Maddox Moses Garza, who died in an emergency room with no information, no leads, no anything.
No, and the only thing that I can say is that his cousin did come forward and say about this alleged robbery. They tried to rob him as he was getting into his car at some apartments off Hewlin. Now, whether she uses they as a filler word or that there was more than one person, we don't know. But in any case, she does point that this is an alleged robbery and that he had nothing to give them, so they shot him. And this kid, wrong place, wrong time. Sad, tragic. A 21-year-old kid is gone, and his aunt speaks volumes about him and just how he was the sweetest, kindest young man and was only doing good in life.
And this is definitely not pointing fingers at the Fort Worth Police Department by any means necessary.
No, at least they're reaching out for assistance.
You have a situation where they were called to a shooting. Again, who called is still in question at this point, but you were called, found a shooting victim. Your first response is we have to save this person, which is the action that they went into.
For sure.
But now you have a situation where I know in that area there are some luxury apartments, and I don't want to give away too much at this point. Again, we'll give information on who to contact at the end of this podcast, but there are some luxury apartments in that area. I would have to assume that those are gated. And again, we discussed this off mic, but it only takes one person with a little bit of kindness in their heart to let someone follow you in to the apartments, not thinking
right
that potentially you have robbers and murderers behind you.
Right. I mean, how often do you go into Walmart and hold the door open for the person behind you?
I try to every time, but
yeah.
Again, this is a tragic situation. We do have some contact information for anyone that might have any information.
If you have one of these videos that you've taken with your mini computer, with your phone, go viral for the right reason. Turn it over to the police. Maddox was only 21 years old.
Definitely did not. Nobody deserves this.
Oh, no,
Nobody
absolutely not.
deserves this. So, the Fort Worth Police Department is asking for your help. If anyone has any information about this incident from Thursday, March 27th at about 10 till 9 p.m., they are asked to contact Detective Cedillo at 817 392 4337, or you can email Detective Cedillo at Jerry, Jerry Cedillo, SEDILLO, at fortworthtexas.gov. If you don't feel comfortable contacting the Fort Worth Police Department, you can also contact Crime Stoppers at 817 469 8477. Again, Crime Stoppers is 817 469 TIPS. That's 8477. Any final words before?
Yes. If they're not comfortable contacting either one of those, any of those entities, you can contact us anonymously.
And if you would like to contact us anonymously about this case or about any other case that we've covered, or any case that you would like to see us covered, your information will remain strictly confidential. You can reach The Last Clue at info@smithmediateamllc.com. Again, our contact information, and you will remain completely confidential, is info@smithmediateamllc.com. I hope we get some answers on this because, again, you have a young man with his whole life ahead of him, and now you have a family that is burying a 21-year-old kid for what appears to be a very senseless act of violence.
Yes. And please know that your voice, your video, your input could bring the last clue.
The Last Clue is a production of Smith Media Team, LLC.